we have never, and you know that,
Yes,
we have never
never
been
to-
about just deny yourself for
No,
nothing.
no.
It's about living abundantly. We even have a class called Living Abundantly.
Yes.
Because then we ask you, what is important to you?
Yes.
Put money towards that.
I remember actually what Shek is saying, if you need to drink carbonated water,
Yes.
then fine.
Yes.
So let's figure out how you're going to do that for the rest of your
Plan for
life.
it.
Yes.
That car that you want,
Plan for it. Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm with Waithaka Gatumia from Centonomy. I hope you've registered. It's online, and it doesn't matter where in the world you're watching this. Please don't ask me, are they online? You've asked me that so often. Finally, I can say, yes, they are. But we want to get into a conversation that I think a lot of us have been forced into.
yeah.
And it's the R word, retirement. But I want to pack retirement because there's been retrenchment and being declared redundant. Okay?
Yeah.
Centonomy 101 helps you understand the time value of money. Everybody hears me talk about this one because man, that class.
Yep.
Man, that class, eh? Ish.
Yep.
I remember sitting there thinking, Ati, if today USIU it costs this much, she's only 9 years old, what will it
Yes.
cost in? And it's understanding that. But also the time value of money as it grows.
That's right.
Okay. What I worry about is that I hear, I will meet a 35-year-old who come to me and say, oh, by the time I'm your age, I'll have retired. And I think it's cute.
Okay.
I think it's cute. Or I'll meet a person who's about to hit their 40th birthday and say, oh, I'm going to retire when I'm 40. So two things always go through my mind. I'm like, what are you going to do for the other 40? Because you probably will live until you're 80.
Yeah.
And how will you live?
That's right.
Because when I hear people say, I'm going to retire, they're saying, I don't want to work.
There you go.
Meanwhile, and honestly, I have to segue here. Raila Odinga is still working. Joe Biden, you had to look it up. How old is Joe?
77.
And he's running for presidency.
Yes.
And the other guy is 74, 75.
And what's the other guy? Bernie Sanders. He's older than them.
Was he?
He's
I
80s
know.
or something. Yeah, I mean, we have to get our heads around this a little bit better. So in the last video, we said wealth is the ability to live the lifestyle that you want without having to work.
Aha.
So when you talk about not working, isn't that retrenchment, retirement?
That's
Isn't
what it is.
Redundancy?
Yes,
It means
yes.
you're not working,
Yes.
but you're able to sustain your lifestyle.
Yes.
And that's what we're talking about here. So there's the financial element, and then there's also the element of purpose, which you're talking about
Yes.
here. Because I don't have to work, but I'm working. Best example, I don't know if people have watched this. Everyone is on Netflix now. Watch it. It's a documentary about Bill Gates.
Yes.
And it's Decoding Bill or something like
Yes,
that. I think
yes,
that's what
yes.
it's called.
Uh-huh.
And his children's children
children.
will never have to work.
Yes.
But he's found a purpose in himself
There you
that
go.
he's busy working harder probably than he has in his life,
Exactly.
trying to solve a global issue. So he's found purpose. But that's because he has enough cash to allow
dedicate him to
That's
go
it.
play.
That's it.
Yes.
To live.
To live.
And the problem is that so many of us, especially in Africa, are getting to the point of retirement and we don't have enough to live. So I love the fact that those people they've set a goal. Like if you're 30 and you're saying by the time I'm 40, I'd like to retire, good.
Good.
Then do the work.
Because I guess the
Yes.
question I'd like to ask, and I can never ask because I don't want to be seen to be, raining on your parade, is
Yes.
how much do you have for the next 40 years?
That's right.
40.
That's right.
I'm sure you've done the math.
I have.
Averagely, what does it cost for the average Nairobian? You know, the one who's bowling out of control on a salo of 80 Gs.
Yeah.
That Nairobian. You know, that Nairobian is balling out of control.
So let's talk money first of all.
Yes.
For just a second. Let's be real.
Okay.
So let's say I earn 100,000 shillings a month. That describes your lifestyle.
Yes.
100,000, what's $1,000?
It's $1,000.
So that describes your lifestyle.
Yes.
So use that as a measure for now. And say, if that's 100,000 a month, that's 1.2 million a year.
A year.
Okay? So what kind of assets would I need to sustain the lifestyle of one cash flow of 1.2
Because somebody else is in charge of your cash flow. It's called your employer who gives you 100 Gs every month.
So remove your employer.
Yes.
What investments have you made that will pay you 1.2 million to live the lifestyle? Use that as a measure.
Yes.
So let's say you invested in a SACCO or a bond that's giving you, 10%. That means that you have invested there 12 million shillings today. In order to live that lifestyle. So people say, okay, I don't have 12 million shillings, but I have 10 years to get there. Good. Time value of money.
What? No, 1.5959. Remember? Target. Okay.
So we're saying you have to know what is the value of 12 million shillings 10 years from, I'm 30, I want to retire at 40. What will it be when I'm 40?
Yes.
And the numbers will begin to shock you based on inflation.
Yes.
If you're in East Africa, you're talking about inflation rates that are nearing 10%. I know we've talked about 6 to 8%, but we don't know what the effect of COVID is going to be over the long term. So you're saying about 10%. When you go to West Africa, it's slightly more than that. When you go around the world, other factors affect inflation. So
of course,
when you're talking to the diaspora, for the first time, they're actually discussing inflation. Has never been an issue.
No, it's an African thing.
It's an African thing. But now, because of the pressures that have come on global trade, it's becoming real. So if you don't adjust
for inflation, yes,
then you will arrive 10 years from now with 12 million and wonder, what is this? 12 million will be what you need for a month. You know, that kind of mindset.
Exactly.
We can't do the calculations here. That's what we do in the 101 class. And so for that young person who's saying, I'm 30, younger, 30, and I want to retire when I'm 40.
When I'm 40.
What is the cost of that goal? If you're going to do that, the likelihood is you can't save to get there.
You can't.
You can't. So for that person, you probably need to build a business that's going to generate that kind of income.
Money. Yes.
When we have the Centonomy Entrepreneur, which is now online as well, those are the kind of discussions we're having. How will you build a business
that will generate the kind of income?
Because when you talk about investment the way that we talk about here, where you have a monthly income, you're putting it into shares, you have a monthly income, you're investing it somewhere else, that takes time because of the compounding
factor,
effect.
yes.
Exact. But if you're saying speed, then you're talking about starting a business. So for that person, if they say, I want to retire in the next, it's possible.
It is.
But what work are you going to do?
Yes.
That person, I tell them, this is the time to quit your job and get a business that will get you there.
Yes.
But for the rest of us,
not a hustle, a business.
A real
business. Yes.
Where you understand how you actually make money from a business. That's one of the things we found entrepreneurs don't know. They end up stealing from their own business because they take money without any accountability. Now, for the rest of us, we have to now begin to think, what is our goal? I'm turning 40 next year. And so, goal is...
You're one of those guys.
I'm one of those.
Retire at 40.
And it's here with me right now. So I'm saying, I think I'd like to work till I'm 60. And then at age 60, remove the pressure.
Yes.
That's what I want.
Yes.
Not that I'll stop working,
no,
but that the pressure is gone. So I have 20 years to plan, to invest and to work. So the first thing I have to do is manage my money right now. We are poor at managing our money.
Oh, yes.
And you know, I thought it was a Kenyan thing. In the class, around the world, we do that first exercise, which you remember, track your spending.
Track your spending. Guys don't know where their jums went at all.
Everyone is always shocked. I thought I knew how to budget. And so when we begin to share those templates,
yes,
people are like,
but
yes,
I will be very interested, the cohort that will register for September.
Yes.
COVID has forced us to look at our shillings. I'll be very interested to know from you, not even to them, when you watch how they relate with money versus cohort season 1, class 1.
Here's the thing.
COVID has really made the shillings make sense.
We have seen, no. It's,
what?
We're just transferring our habits online.
Nonsense.
This class that has just graduated, that is just graduated now. So I used to browse through a mall, so I get out and I walk and I pick stuff up. The malls are all online. So I'm now scrolling through.
No.
Yes. Same. We are the same. Unless you change the habit.
No.
This lady, you know,
I found myself being very deliberate now. Really? What I can't get over is how little shopping I do now. The only thing that drives me crazy is the kids have been home and all they've done is eat and grow. Those ones I can't, get away from.
Caroline, people are bored and have been at home. So you pick up your phone and then you're just scrolling. Oh, that's a nice pair of shoes. So you order it next week. So we found some of our clients have actually been spending more. You know why? If you remember, like in Kenya.
In a world where money's squeezing?
No. There is a group of people who have not been affected. In fact, who are doing better now than they were before COVID. Remember, we got a tax break?
Yes.
So if you're still at the same job and your business has not been affected,
you got a little kick in.
Yes.
Really?
So it's all now being spent. So I was shocked as well going through the class because I thought now people will be under pressure. So there is a group of people, and please, we're not being insensitive in this discussion.
No, we're not.
Because we recognize there's a lot of people who are under pressure.
A lot.
But there are also people who are now, this is your opportunity to invest. Yes. That's what we're talking about. But so if you don't manage the money you have now, I love the analogy that you gave of Eliud when he's running the marathon, that he's pacing himself.
Yes, you have to pace.
That's right. So if you don't pace yourself now and actually make those investments now, it becomes an issue.
And make those changes now.
That's right. Here's your opportunity to pay down your debt faster.
Hey, my friend.
That bump that came.
Let me tell you, when the bank said, you can still have your 3-month bank holiday for who? No. What I can afford to pay, I plan to pay.
Yes. Pay it.
I just need to know you can extend. Extend it, but let's keep going.
And here's the thing. Again, live in the class, you have someone saying, I don't know where I'm getting the money to invest. I tell them, no problem. 30 days, just track your spending. They'll come back to you after that and say, wow, 500 bob on chewing gum. Why? Because I'm still going to the office. I'm in traffic.
Yes.
20 bob as you're going, 20 bob as you're going home. They added it up and you're saying, okay, that 500 bob could have bought you shares on the stock market.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my goodness.
If we get the fundamentals right, and I've seen it, the fundamentals are the same everywhere. Our student in Botswana, in South Africa, Burkina Faso, one of your fans, in fact, we should give a shout, a lady called Ida, I don't know. I didn't know you had fans in Burkina Faso, but this lady is saying...
Burkina Faso I did not know, but what you call the frontline states, Malawi, Mozambique, Zambia, Zimbabwe, one I knew.
This lady said, I watch Caroline, and that's why I'm in this class.
What?
I didn't even know what to call someone from Burkina Faso. No disrespect, Burkinabe.
Burkinabe. Because you know what Burkina Faso means?
That's right.
The land of upright people.
There we go. So, I mean, everyone was just saying, these fundamentals are true. I now apply my investment strategy to the Botswana market. I invest my strategy into the South African market. And if I'm in the diaspora and I want to send money home, now I have a picture of what the African market looks like. But I only do so with the goal in mind. If we don't get that in place,
if you don't know where you're going, you shouldn't start driving. I mean, duh. Yes. However, you and I have been talking about the retirement conversation because I think now more than ever it's real. Yes. So we plan to take this onto a webinar so that once again we can reach more people.
That's right.
And one of the articles I remember I told you and I said this is a gentleman we must have, the former CEO of the Retirement Benefits Authority.
That's right.
Dr. Odundo.
Yes.
He who wrote in the Business Daily and he said it should be taught, retirement should be taught from grade 6.
That's right.
And I remember, just the title of the article, you're like, but time value of money? The sooner you begin to understand money and how it works, the better. Because I also think it's a lot to deal with. And I think you remember this about my Centonomy class. It was a 24-year-old in my class. We're all looking at her like, because we were 10 years behind her.
Yes. But guess what? And this is what I always say, and you remember I said this in the class. At 24, she's earning maybe an eighth or less
of what
you're earning.
Yes, exactly.
So your capability at whatever age,
yes,
at whatever age,
yes,
you can begin your journey towards wealth now. That's what you need to start doing. Stop looking back. It's gone. What are you doing moving forward?
Incidentally, one more reason to get onto Centonomy 101. There's an exercise, and I think this is maybe the 7th or 8th class, where are you still doing with 100,000 shillings, make more?
Yeah.
And I think a lot more people, when you hear what because it's a breakout group, when you hear what every group has been able to do, it makes you begin to realize what opportunities you waste. Oh, I need a capital investment. I need a factory. I need a warehouse. And that's where we get it wrong. Until you hear somebody say, you know, with that I can do this. And in 6 months, it will have become this.
That's right.
I cannot begin to... I am jealous. So send me a link for that class.
I will.
Because I want to hear what Burkina Faso says when you give them the equivalent of $1,000.
Let me tell you this.
Yes.
And the beauty of that class, and you remember again, when I walked into that class, because I think I took your class.
Yes, you took my class.
When I walked in, did I give you a choice?
No.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
We give ourselves choices on what we're supposed to do. I walked in the class, I said, you have this amount of money.
That's it.
Make it into 30 million shillings in the next 3 years.
Yes.
And I leave you there. And you have to sit down and figure it out. So the same thing with your personal finance.
Yeah.
You need to sit down. I need to have in assets over 60 million shillings in order to live the lifestyle that I want 10 years from now.
Yep.
So I work backwards and say, okay, I need 60 million in 10 years. What do I need to do today in order to get there? And I start, and that shock factor gets you to wake up and you realize I can't be spending 500 bob on chewing gum every week just because I'm in traffic. That's the thing.
Yes.
But again, target
for
the choices that you need to make now. Can you imagine, Caroline, we've seen the same thing in businesses?
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs in our class, I asked them, so what's the business target for this year?
They don't have one?
They don't have one.
It's just biashara.
It's just business. Which is why you're unable to control. I'm telling you, these principles work across the board.
Okay, if you're watching us and listening and you're getting cross-eyed, you're like, principles, targets, what? Okay, your one KPI right now is to register for the class. Do that and everything else will fall in place. Yeah. And I do not mind if you ever come back and say, Chick, I took the class. Because once in a while I'll meet somebody who'll be like, I took the class, I was tired of hearing you. Yeah. I took it and I'm like, and they're like, yes. Yep. Do you still encourage couples and married people to take it together?
Aren't you sitting at home together?
Anyway, you might as well. It's one screen.
Yes.
You might as well.
Take it.
Take it. Call the children. Gatumia does not charge per head.
And during this period, we have a 20% discount on all our programs.
Wow.
So, I mean, we're serious about getting this information out there. One more example. Do you mind?
Tell me.
So we run the Career Hub class, which is about how do you grow in your career.
Yes.
And this is the same thing. People come and say, I'm frustrated. I've not been able to grow in my career. People always join. You know, they join the organization and they get promoted. Yes. And we say, okay, so what was your goal?
They're like,
But I worked so hard. No, wait.
No, what was your goal?
Oh, yes. No, but my work should speak for itself. No. And you know Mwenesi is our head teacher, the trainer for the career Hub. And he just says, no, what do you want?
Yes.
And then that's the point at which someone says, I want a better job. I want to be a manager. I want to be a CEO.
Yes, they said, okay.
So what have you done that will get you to that?
Yes.
Because again, it's a process.
It is.
The principle is the same. Show up for life. That's what we're talking about here.
Yes.
I'm feeling frustrated because I feel like I want to go on and essentially take people into the room. But
no. This is where you register for the class. I don't know whether this cohort will have an open day, 10,000 people later. But I've always said life-changing, a light bulb went off. I remember there were classes I used to do, and because I used to do evening class, and I'd go home and write to the bank immediately and say, change the standing order. You know, when you realize you're saving only so much,
That's right.
you're like, this is a joke.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Because that's what you do. You permit yourself as little as you can. So you can still have money for the hang. Nah.
We have never, and you know that, we
Yes,
have never been about just deny yourself for nothing.
No.
It's about living abundantly. We even have a class called Living Abundantly.
Yes.
Because then we ask you, what is important to you?
Yes.
Put money towards that.
I remember actually what Shek is saying, if you need to drink carbonated water,
Yes.
then fine.
Yes.
So let's figure out how you're going to do that for the rest of your
Plan for
life.
it.
Yes.
That car that you want,
Plan for it.
Yes. The holidays that you want to take, plan for it.
Actually, Centonomy at no point minimizes. It doesn't say stop. If you still want to buy gum, go right ahead. But the question is, really? How?
Is it in line with your goal? Because if you're saying, I want to retire by the time I'm 30, but I'm spending 500 bob, you see, if those two things don't align.
Please note at some point you...
Exactly.
Yes.
If they don't align, then you make a choice at that point. And what we're trying to do is empower everybody to make the choice for the lifestyle that they want.
That's all. That's all. In case you're wondering, what are they going on about? Register. And thank you for coming back.
Thank you.
COVID happened so you can finally register for Centonomy 101. Take care. Subscribe.